This video is about the Arpeggione Sonata by Franz Schubert. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Franz Schubert composed the Arpeggione Sonata in November 1824. It was written shortly after his return from Zeeles in Austria, where he had been working as a music teacher. The sonata was written for the newly invented arpeggione, which is a cross between a guitar and a cello. However, the instrument was not very widespread at the time. The sonata was not published until 1871, long after Schubert's death. The Arpeggione Sonata consists of 3 movements: Allegro moderato, Adagio, and Allegretto. The first movement is in sonata form and begins with a lyrical theme. The second movement is a calm Adagio with an intimate character. The third movement, an Allegretto, is a dance-like rondo. Each movement shows Schubert's typical melodies and harmonic richness. The sonata seems light and accessible. The arpeggione, also known as the guitar violoncello, was invented in 1823 by Johann Georg Stauffer. The instrument has 6 strings and is played like a cello, but tuned like a guitar. However, the arpeggione did not become very popular and was soon forgotten. Today, the Arpeggione Sonata is usually played on the cello or the viola. The original composition shows how virtuosic the instrument could be used. The Arpeggione Sonata demands a high level of technical virtuosity from the player. There are fast runs, large leaps, and difficult double stops. The first and third movements in particular require precise finger dexterity. At the same time, the player must preserve the lyrical character of the melodies. The sonata offers an insight into Schubert's ability to write demanding yet melodious music. The piano accompaniment in the Arpeggione Sonata is not just a simple support for the solo instrument. It is rich in harmonic turns and complements the melodies of the arpeggione. Especially in the second movement, the piano creates a calm, romantic atmosphere. The dialogue between the piano and the solo instrument gives the sonata a special depth. Schubert shows his mastery in the field of chamber music here. The Arpeggione Sonata is one of the few works that were composed specifically for this instrument. It is a unique testimony to music history and shows Schubert's love of experimentation. Although the arpeggione itself soon fell into obscurity, the sonata has retained its place in the standard repertoire of cellists and violists to this day. It is one of Schubert's best-known chamber music works. The Arpeggione Sonata was not published until 1871, almost 50 years after it was written. It was initially played on other instruments such as the cello or the viola. Famous cellists such as Pablo Casals and Mstislav Rostropovich helped to make the work known. Today, the sonata is also played in many other arrangements. It remains a popular piece of chamber music. Franz Schubert was one of the most important composers of the Romantic period. He was born in Vienna in 1797 and wrote over 600 songs, numerous symphonies, chamber music, and piano works. His music is characterized by its melodies and harmonic richness. Schubert died in 1828 at the age of only 31. His works only became truly well known and appreciated after his death. Chamber music played an important role in Franz Schubert's work. In addition to the Arpeggione Sonata, he composed well-known works such as the string quartet Death and the Maiden and the piano quintet Trout Quintet. His chamber music is characterized by lyrical melodies and a dense dialogue between the instruments. Schubert is considered one of the greatest chamber music composers in music history.